All right, just got to the job site where the old 220 is. Got the skid steer and the rake to kind of run over everything and clean everything up. Does look a little wet right there, but hopefully everything's still dry enough we can rake all this out and clean everything up, make it look nice. You may notice the skid steer looks slightly newer. It's because it's a different one. This is a 2021 TL12 high flow. Just dropped it off yesterday. Going to try it out and see how well it does running the rake and see if it fits my needs to upgrade to a newer machine. All right, skid steer is unloaded. We got one big root right here beside this water box. Robert's gonna watch me as I try to dig it up. Make sure we don't rip any pipes out of the ground. There's one right here, right there, and there. So hopefully this goes as planned. Then I'll unload the bucket and start grading stuff out. Look at that new skid steer. Well, new to me. It's got like 500 hours on it. All right, we got that stump up. I'm gonna go down here and dig a pit to bury. There's a little bit of stuff left, and he's gonna rake up all this stuff right here, roots and junk, get all this cleaned up. I'll bury that. Should give me some pretty nice topsoil to bring up here and spread out over all this and make this look nice and clean. Already got a branch. All right, let's go down here and dig a hole. Let's dig a hole. See what kind of good dirt we have here to grade out with. Hopefully it stays dry. It's very wet down in here. Pile that up where you can scoop it up with a skid steer and take it up there, dump it out where it needs to go. We've got a big pile of clay over there that can be brought over here to fill in a hole if need be. I'm going to dig a hole deep enough to bury all that stuff, and then if we need any of that dirt to finish the pond dam or fill this hole back in, I'll probably just dig a hole and get whatever dirt I need, and then just fill it back in with that. That's the plan. Stay up here some away from all the trees so I don't kill them. I'm going to try to cut out as much. It's not that black topsoil like you see, but it's a pretty sandy stuff. Shouldn't be as muddy as that when it gets wet, so should make some pretty decent material to grade out and go in a yard. I can already see it's getting muddy down there. I'll use that for the back side of the pond dam because I want to go back and get the grading bucket for this excavator. That way I can use it to smear all that around, because I know it's going to be wet. I know it's going to be too wet for a skid steer, so if I can get some dirt in there and get a slope built, I think it'll dry out. It is nice that there's like, oh boy, that root just flung dirt all in my lap. That wasn't smart. Better put it all in my drink too. so dewy this morning, you can't see out the windows. It's a rough life, but somebody's got to do it. Let's pull a couple loose roots out. Don't quite need all that up there in the yard. I did price an undercarriage for this machine, so once I get done here, it's going in to get a new undercarriage put on it. So that'll be exciting. Spend the rest of its life with me. Love my 220. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of this thing. I'll probably just run it till it dies and then park it at the farm as a yard art or something. I don't know. I love it. It's a good machine. Lots of topsoil. It's weird. That's like mud right there on top of it. And then the clay's dry. Mix it all together, it'll be alright. Don't have to be alright. Okay, let me finish digging this and I'll start filling it back in with some of that crap from the fire. The rest of that, I may just blend it into the slope there and cover it up. Maybe it'll bridge over some of that mud. Alright, going to grab a little bit of this stuff. Need to put those stumps in there first and then fill it in with all that ash. Still a little dusty. Still a lot dusty. So normally I would have burned in the pit, but I had to get away from all the trees. I'm going to be dusty here. Help out a little bit. I don't know how much you'll be able to see if I shut the windshield. It's kind of dark and gloomy this morning, but I don't want to breathe all that dust. Some of that is nice and dry, obviously. I think I'm going to spread it down there in that mud hole. It's pretty much dirt. Let it soak some of that up, maybe. Got to get the big chunks out, get them packed down in the pit there. Let them go bye-bye. Robert is scooping up the dirt that I've stockpiled, taking it up there. I ran the skid steer a little bit yesterday. I really seem to like it. I'll run it here at the end when I do all the raking. Just kind of get a good feel for it. But for right now, I need to be on the excavator getting all this stuff put down there. Sight. like a random log inside the pile of ashes that didn't burn, but everything else around it did. The rest of that, once I get the big chunks out, I'm just going to push it down there and let it soak up some of that. Put about 2 feet of dirt over top of it, cap it off. That'll work out just fine and dandy. Get all that tracked in. That should really help with the slope. What his problem was, you know, this was all mud when I did this, and or the pond actually was coming in after somebody else that made a royal mess of it. So I kind of had to work with what they had without reinventing the wheel here. So I was having the pond already had water in it. So the dam ended up being mud, which was very difficult to grade, and the slope ended up a little steeper than I wanted it to. And said it's just difficult to mow. So trying to add this to it to kind of soften the slope and get it where he can run the zero turn down it without sliding off into the mud down here. Alright, let me spread these ashes out and then get all that packed down and covered up. Moving dirt. The only flaw on that machine is a huge dent in the door, but it's gonna have to get a new door. All right, so I got some clay put over here, getting that kind of tracked in. I need to run and go grab the grading bucket and another stick of pipe right there to add to that. Let's walk over here and check this out. I'm coming here with that grading bucket and slick all this up, and just trying to get a nice slope like that down there. It's mud, it's wet down here, but I'm gonna dig that out and pack some clay in there and be able to have a good solid base to put that pipe on. Then I'll come over here with the grading bucket and slick all that up and blend that slope back in nice and smooth. Maybe put a little bit of dirt right in there, but honestly just trying to get the pond dam where, because before, like, as far as he could mow was like right here. So you know, there's not so much you can do with that, but at least get it where it's a little bit more maintainable. The main thing was to get all these trees down and get enough dirt to kind of grade all that out so it's not a mud hole. Had to run home and grab the grading bucket. Still sitting exactly where I left it when I did my pond, which has no more water in it than it did when I finished, because it's been a very, very, very dry summer. So really no runoff, which I'm fine with. I knew it'd be this fall anyways, which has made a good week, or a good year to work with. My millet did come up, but it didn't come up great, so I'm gonna have my hay guy look at it and see if it's even worth cutting. There's a lot of other grass out there too, so we shall see on that. If not, bush hog it down and replanting here in about a month. My good fescue for my permanent pasture. So let me go ahead and get this bucket on the trailer and the piece of pipe and get back to the job site. Big storm just came over. Luckily it looks like it went just to the north of us, so I'm happy about that. But man, if I get all the pasture look like that right there, I'd be happy. Grading buckets here, pipes here. Looks like he's got all that dirt brought up here. A little bit wet. I'll make it best I can now. Go in here and grab the excavator, get that bucket, go ahead and clean up the other side of the pond dam, and then put that pipe in. Okay, so I came back here and I am taking this bucket and grading the back side of the pond dam off now. It's too wet in here after that rain to get the skid steer. So I'm going to contour all this with the grading bucket the best I can. I've used the old machine and the grading bucket, so I got to get back in the groove of it. does look nice though. Like I said, I haven't used this bucket since I did my pond there at the house, but it's just one of those things, you don't use it very often, but when you do have to use it, I mean, sometimes you do use it very often, but sometimes it'll sit for 6 months like that. And then you grab it, just make everything gorgeous with it. Keep dragging this around, and all right, I'm going to get this pipe put in here. Well, I already got the pipe put in. I'm going to get it covered with dirt. Pack a little bit of dirt around it there, and slick all this up. Press it down, pack it in there the best I can. So just make it so he can mow over it. And I said, I think I can make that happen. This is just a giant mud hole back here. Be a lot of cover over that pipe, but it'll be enough where you can drive a mower over it. And I'll get a little bit of topsoil and just kind of smear over top of it. Everything will be good to go. Topsoil over this clay, and that'll be enough for the grass to take root in. It'll definitely grate out better than this sticky stuff. A little pat, pat, pat. Pat the dirt down. Pat, pat, pat. A couple more scoops right there around that. Skid steer's done really good. He's got a lot of dirt moved. All the dirt I needed to move. I need to scoop up a little more topsoil and throw that over here. I'm going to rake this over here into this slope so I can cover it up. And then go ahead and bury that mess right there. And work on dragging the way out of here. another little hole, get a little bit of dirt, and go ahead and bury that. Then I can work on slicking all the top, graded out down here in the bottom, trying to fix this little ditch channel and get all this speared around so that everything will drain down here. This is just some wet, goopy mess. Sometimes you just gotta pat the mud down. I'll have to dig that out by the pipe there. But that turned out lovely. Go. Drained out nice and evenly there now. I just got to build a little bit of a ditch channel back right here by pulling up a bank and probably adding just a little bit of dirt right in here to raise this up. So, a much better slope on the back of that pond now. I think there's rain coming. God knows. I don't know if I'm going to get all this done in time. Oh, gotta love it. Fighting the weather, but at least I got those other two jobs done. They really had to be done when it was dry. Raining, I'm going to keep on keeping on, at least get all this lower section slicked up, because I know that this definitely stay the wettest after a rain. Those bubbles in the water over there, that makes it look is. It is raining now. I see it on top of the roof. The sunroof. Oh joy. Oh joy. I'm gonna get everything graded but the area up there that I really need to make look pretty. Aggravating. For this mud to go right here. Almost flat. Let the rain hold off for 2 more hours. I need 2 more hours and I'll be completely done. Weather. Please be on my side. You can rain the whole rest of the weekend. Give me 2 more hours. This is my 6th project for the week. I'm tired. But I want to get done, and then the rest of the year should be relatively easy. Should be. I got so much stuff to do. Well, for a muddy area, that doesn't look terrible now. Finish pulling all this up and working my way back to the truck. Three days later, back over here. So it does look like it has dried off. That stuff was pretty sandy. Hopefully it looks as dry, or it is as dry as it looks on top. So far so good. Please don't tell me that was thunder. Oh God. Hopefully that was a jet. All right. No time to play around. I'm going to take the bucket, kind of clean some of that dirt off the tracks, and go ahead and start grading over a couple spots, and then put the rake on and start running over all of this. That being said, we were so busy the other day I didn't even have time to mention the skid steer and or use it. all in all, I did run it a little bit the day before. I like everything on it. It's a 2021 with 500 hours on it. It's in really good shape. Obviously been used. It's got the paint missing up there. A couple scratches on it. Only big main problem is that. Oof. It took a hard hit. So probably definitely gonna need a new door. I just can't spend that much money and not and have to look at that. It's the way I look at it. So we'll have to figure that one out. I haven't even bought it. I mean, I'm still trying it out. So, but I like it. I do like it. It does have the pad style tracks on it. It actually does ride better, and they should last longer. I would say the undercarriage is at about 60% or so. Not new tracks like my old one, but it's a high flow. Should run the rake really good, hopefully. So let me go try to grade some of this out. I'm gonna put the rake on there and see how good it does. buckets rake is working really good on high flow. I've run over all this, got all the roots raked back there to the woods, got a few random pieces I need to pick up. I'm going to take the shovel and go ahead and shovel the excavator off, drop the grading bucket off, put the digging bucket back on, load the tooth bucket onto the trailer, and I'll take that in this home, have to come back and get the stumper and the grading bucket, and that machine's going to go to the undercarriage place to get a new undercarriage put on it. And then we got a little demolition job to do with it. Well, I like it. It did a good job. Runs really good. Runs the rake really good. All right, so that's loaded up. I just finished raking over everything. I got the excavator cleaned off, and all of that is raked over, blend back in. So that should, once there's some grass on that, should all blend back together and look really good. So I ended up taking all these trees out right here, all the way down to there, burnt everything. Oh, I gotta go down there and get that 5-gallon bucket. And cleared off all the trees behind the dam. I'll show you when I get back here. But we ended up cutting a nice little swell right through here. So all the runoff off of that, the pond's spring fed, it's got plenty of runoff into it. But trying to keep the erosion down, got a little ditch, it runs all the way down here and back here behind the dam, where I smoothed all that out with the excavator the other day before the rain. So unfortunately it's too wet, I can't get back here with the skid steer to run over that, but it is far better than it was, and also got a nice slope on it now. Extended the pipe out 20 feet, so there's a more gentle slope on the back of the dam right there. And it looks like everything's running right down there into the ditch like it should. So another job in the books. Main thing was to get all that cleaned up, and I think it turned out nice.